All right. Hi, everybody. Doug here with you. We're going to talk about some administrative things that you can do on the board's website. And the quickest way to get there is to type in this website, www.myfloridalicense.com. Write that down, and then we're going to go to that website, myfloridalicense.com. When you go to that website, the first thing you're going to see is this page right here. And the picture that's going to show up will vary each time you go there. But there's several things you can do on this page. First thing you can do is if you want to check and see your credit hours, step one, you click on this verify a license. If you want to find out if if you've taken your credit hours, if they have shown up after you've had our class, step one, you click on verify a license at myfloridalicense.com. Then you got to look really closely. Up in the upper left-hand corner is a little button under the DBPR that says log on. And you click on that. Now, if you have already gotten a username and password, you enter it here and then log on, and you'll be able to see your credit hours. If you've not created an account, right over here on the bottom, you can create your account, and you shouldn't have any trouble with that. You enter, your name, your license number. I don't know if you need your address too, but if you do, you can put that in there. And then you have to pick your own username and password. They don't give it to you. You got to create your own. So you create your own username and password when you create your account. And then you can go check your credit hours. Whatever you do, save that username and password written down somewhere. I usually tape mine right to my monitor at the bottom so I don't lose it, because I'm telling you, see here where it says forgot your password? They'll try to help you, but just like everything in Tallahassee, it's very difficult to get it done correctly. All right, now that's how you go about checking your credit hours. There's other things you can do there. You go to that same link on the home page, verify a license, and you can check and make sure they have your correct address. Make sure they have your license number correct. You can check and see when your license is due to be renewed. Let's click on verify a license here. And there's a couple ways to search for yourself. You can do it by name, you see that here, or you can do it by license number. If you do it by name, make sure you include your middle initial, because, if your name's John Smith, there's probably 20 pages of John Smiths. So let's say you're going to search by your name. You click on search over here after you've filled in the dot that says search by name, and then you put in your name, last name, first name, middle name or middle initial, and then you go down here and click search. Now, of course, I don't have a contractor's license, so we can't search for mine. But let's just pick someone here. Let's pick Smith, and let's pick John Smith. Luckily, we'll probably find, and we'll pick John W. Smith. How's that? And then you click search if that's your name. Well, come on here. And then, just like everything else you do at the state, you wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. Now, here's a John W. Smith that is a certified general contractor. Well, that is null and void, so we don't want to look at that one. Let's see if we find another one. Oh, goodness, they're all null and void. Let's try another page, see if we can find one here. But want to show you if we can find a contractor. Here we go. Here's John Wesley Smith. Let's click on his name. Let's pretend that's you. He's a mechanical contractor. Let's click on John Wesley Smith here. Now, you can check your record when your page comes up. Your address, what kind of license you have, when you got that license. Wow, he got his in 1982. And very, very importantly, you can check there when it expires so that you can tell whether or not you have to go to CE during this cycle. His license expires 8/31/2020. Now, all certified contractors' licenses expire in the even year, and they're good for 2 years. Okay? So his license was renewed September 1st of 2018, and it's good through August 31st of 2020. But before August 31st of 2020, he has to take 14 more hours of CE. Okay? Now, back when you wanted to check your credit hours, here's a confusing thing. We've told you this before, that when you renew your license, let's say you renew your license in June of 2020, they bump your credit hours back to 0 once you renew your license, even though that license hasn't expired yet. So if your secretary, your spouse, or you go check your credit hours, let's say in August of 2020, and you renewed it in June of 2020 and paid your 200 plus bucks, guess what? Your credit hours are going to show a shortfall of 14 hours, even though you're not really short 14 hours. All you have to remember is your license is good for 2 years, and you've got to take 14 hours of CE within every 2-year cycle. And you can take it at any time you want in that 2-year cycle. You don't have to wait till June, July, or August of 2020. Like everybody on this cruise, you're getting your credit hours done either for registered contractors, which we'll talk about here in a second, or for next year's certified contractors. You're getting it done now, which is cool. You're done way ahead of time. You're done cheaper than those that are going to go next summer. And then you're done taking CE until after August 31st of 2020. Then you're in the next 2-year cycle that goes from September 1st of 2020 through August 31st of 2022. And during that 2-year cycle, you got to take another 14 hours of CE. Pretty easy to understand unless you get confused by, which year am I supposed to go? It's very simple. If you're a certified contractor, you got to go sometime before August 31st of the next even year, which is 2020, and you're all doing that. Wait a minute, Doug, I'm going in 2019 on a cruise to Alaska. Is that going to be good? Yes, it is, because you're going within your 2-year cycle that started in September of 18 and goes through August 31st of 2020. Now, registered contractors, if you have a registered license for anything except electrical, there's a special rule for electrical contractors. Their license renews in August of the even year, whether you're registered or certified if you have an electrical license. But other registered contractors, registered builder, registered general, registered residential, registered plumber, registered roofer, your 2-year cycle goes from odd year to odd year. So if you were a registered contractor, I'm not going to take the time to dig through here looking for one, but if you're a registered contractor, this would read it expires 8/31 of 2019, and they have to take their credit hours before the end of August this year in order for them to get it renewed for the next 2-year cycle. And then during the next 2-year cycle, all of your registered contractors except electricals can go at any time in that 2-year period. For example, we're going to have another cruise this November. A registered contractor, if they go on our Alaska cruise like you guys are on, that would count so they can renew their license for the next 2-year cycle. But their license expires August 31 of 2019. That's this year. So guess what? If they want to go on another cruise in November, that would count for their next 2-year cycle. Do you understand that? Because it's within the 2-year window that starts September 1st of 2019, expires August 31st of 2021. Every contractor, registered or certified, your license is good for a 2-year cycle. Okay? Hope everybody understands that. When we finish this video, I'll let you ask any questions if you have any. Now, I want to show you something else while we're here. Down here in the bottom left, it says View License Complaint. I want you all to check that. Click on that for you, and we're going to do it for who is this guy? John Wesley Smith. We're going to click on his. Now, if he were to have some complaints or a record of complaint against him, it would be listed here underneath this banner. The case number, the date of the incident, the status of it, what the disposition was, what the disposition date was, and the date he got disciplined. The reason I'm pointing that out to you, and of course this guy, John Wesley Smith, he has no disciplinary record, and hopefully you don't either. But what we've discovered over the years is the state isn't always real good at record keeping. And we have found sometimes where they have a disciplinary conviction against a contractor that is there by mistake. And holy cow, you want to make sure you don't have any of those. So let me back up a page so you can go check yours again. You go to myfloridalicense.com, you go to Verify a License, you go to, you see by your name or your license number, then you click on your name, and to check your disciplinary record, you go down here to the bottom left-hand corner, and you click on View License Complaint. And for this guy, he's got none, and hopefully you won't either. If you find one there that is wrong, then as soon as we get home from the cruise, you give me a call, and we'll help you get that fixed. All right, everybody understand that about your license? Now, there are many other things, and I think I'll stop the video here for a minute so you can ask some questions about that part, because then we're going to show you some other things on here. All right, here's some other information we want to share with you on Verify a License page at myfloridalicense.com. Doug, how do I renew my license? Well, dad burn it, you guys. It's not all that hard. Looky right here. You go to the home page, myfloridalicense.com, and right up there, I want to, and then you type in renew my license, or you just click on this, and you can fill in the details to renew your license, okay? What if I need to change my address? You know there's a disciplinary rule that says if you change your business address, you must notify the board within 30 days, or you can be subject to a disciplinary violation and a fine and a suspension of your license. Well, this is where you go to change your license. I want to change your address. I want to change my address. I want to renew my license. Whatever you need to do, boom. You put it in there, or you click on it if it's up there underneath there, and renew your license is underneath there, and just like always, it's there it goes, rotating very, very slowly. And here it says renew my license. You click on that, and you can renew your construction license after you've taken your CE. And of course, and it's right here as well, under construction industry, renew and manage my license. I would wait a good 4 weeks before you try to renew your license, probably 6 weeks or more before you try to renew your license online because the state is not expecting you to do so this early, and they might get dazed and confused if you know what I mean. Okay, that's all about my Florida license. Now, there are many, many other things you can do on this website that we used to talk about in class, and we'll mention them here again, that you can just plug into this white search box here. For example, you can go to what's called Board Home, BOARDHOME. Type that in there, and you can check on anything you need to find out about the board. For example, you can find out, there we go, and then you click search. You can find out who's on the board. You can find out if there are openings on the board. You can find out when the next board meeting is. You can find out where the next board meeting is. Hopefully you don't have to attend because you got a disciplinary violation, but you can find out everything about the board if you type in the term Board Home. Now, here's, I think this is a really good one. You can type in FAQ and click search, and you can go to frequently asked questions for construction. And a lot of times we get phone calls, of course, from contractors quite often. And when we get phone calls from contractors, I tell you, probably 70% of the time they ask a question that is answered under FAQ on the board's website. So if you have a question you have and you want to give us a holler and ask us, that's fine. But you could also probably find that under FAQ on the board's website, okay? Now, you know what else you can find there? Boom, boom, boom. Statutes. You know, Chapter 489 is very, very important. If I haven't talked about it yet, you know we're going to talk about Chapter 489 in class because that's where the disciplinary rules are. So you could go to the search box and just type in statutes. Oops. Old Doug can't spell, can he? Statutes and rules. And you can do a search for statutes. You can also search for, let's see what else. Forms. Forms. You may need a form to apply for a new license. You may need a form to get on to apply to be put on the board. You may need a form for the construction lien law, which we're going to be talking about too on the cruise. Whatever kind of form you need, you just type in forms and publications, and it'll pop up when you click search. Also, public records. We've talked about that in the past. If you want a list of every contractor in the state of Florida, you can just type in public records, and you can find out every doggone contractor and their address and their license number, especially if you want to market to them. If you have something you want to do to market to them, and this thing is working really, really slow, so we won't do that at this time, but you can get all of the contractors' names. If you have somebody that knows how to use, what the heck is it called? If you have somebody that knows how to, I can't even think of what it's called right now. My brain is farting. It does that quite often. Microsoft, not Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, EXCEL. You can separate out everybody that has a plumber's license. You can separate out everybody that has a roofing license if you want to market to just those particular groups or any one of those groups. You can even separate people by zip code. If you want to just market to people who are in your same zip code, who are contractors, you can do that on Excel. If you have somebody in your office or someone that knows how to use Excel. Okay, all those things are available for you. And there's one other thing I want to mention. Let's go back to that page. Because there's one other thing I want to mention that you've got to read, and in my opinion, you've got to do it every single month. Because on this website, every month, they will put important information, parentheses, hot topics. Now, to me, this is very, very, very important. The reason it's so important is because the law changes every 2 years. Not when you're in CE class, but probably after you go to CE class, certain things change in the law. And you can find those things by typing in important information, hot topics. I don't have that page up right now because it takes too darn long to load, but there'll be important stuff there. There have been things there like when the recovery fund changed, which we'll be explaining to you here in class this time. The recovery fund changed 2 years ago about who had to comply with that, and it's very important you understand it when we go over it here in class. But you need to be aware of that and any other change. And I strongly urge you to go there once a month, every month, and read the hot topics and see what's changed since you were last at that website. All right, that's everything about the board's website. Where is it? It's at myfloridalicense.com.